Image looks like an ordinary donut, doesn't it? But it's not. Let's find out why. Oh, my name's Lisa, and today we're going to be diving into what would seem like an innocent donut, but is certainly going to prove to be anything but that. There is a snack business called Cindy's Snacks, and it receives products from other businesses and sells them in their little shop. The biggest thing to note about this shop is what it sells: vegan and gluten free products. So on this day, they received some donuts from a regular supplier, but there was a problem with just one of the donuts. So let's see what John, one of the owners of Cindy's Snacks, has to say. John writes this message to the owner and maker of the donuts. Hey, I in no way mean to insult you or question your products, but this donut was in the box with the strawberry frosted. These are definitely little D sprinkles, ones Dunkin' Donut uses, even the same colours as the Dunkin' logo. If these are Dunkin' Donuts, the ingredients could kill somebody, as we have so many people with severe dairy allergies that shop here. I'm concerned with the donuts this week and am nervous to put them out. I will keep this conversation between us, but please tell me the truth. I don't want to kill anybody with a severe allergy. That seems to me like a very reasonable question considering what they sell, and it is going to have great importance to what the answer is going to be. I will get into why in just a little while, but believe me, it is very serious. Let's hear from the supplier of the donuts, and her name is Michelle. Michelle says these are definitely not Dunkin' Donuts. If you don't want to put them out, don't. But they are not Dunkin' Donuts. That seems to me from Michelle to be a very vehement response, doesn't it? And it doesn't seem very understanding of the issue at all. She is purported to be a renowned baker of 15 years' experience of making vegan and gluten free products. But that response doesn't seem like that's true to me. Now, why would I say that? Wow, I'm married to a celiac, someone who cannot eat gluten under any circumstances, and it's not a choice. Being a vegan is a choice, and everyone is entitled to eat whatever they choose to. I 100% agree with that. But being a celiac is not a choice, and it is not an allergy either, as some people believe. It is an autoimmune disease, and having just one breadcrumb can have serious consequences for the celiac, and that is why these responses are so important. But we will go a little bit further into what happens to a celiac if they do eat gluten. But let's continue with the narrative for now. One writes back to Michelle and says, I don't mean to insult you, and I hope I didn't, but you have to understand the concern. Could you show me the sprinkle container you have that had the D's? I just don't understand why that would be something you would have put on one donut. Michelle sends back this response. I could send you the picture later, I made a bunch of donuts for someone's birthday. Still not a brilliant response, but at least she is going to send them an image of the sprinkles used. On the images I have seen of this box of donuts in question, there were many that were all the same and just one that was totally different. And it is that one that is causing all of the problems. Because if that one donut contains gluten, it is going to contaminate all of the other donuts in the box. So let's have a look at the donut in question. This is the donut that they are talking about. As we can see on this donut, there are two different coloured D's, and those are the D's that represent Dunkin' Donuts. Those are actually the Dunkin' Donut colours. So you can understand why John and Cindy are very concerned. John sends a further message to Michelle saying, "Okay, I'm really not trying to insult you, and I really don't believe you would do that. I'm just really off put by these sprinkles, as I have seen these at Dunkin' before. I can definitely understand their concerns." Michelle replies by saying, "I would never do that. If I was fighting for the life of my business, then at this point, if I had made a mistake, this would be the ideal time to apologise for it." But Michelle seems to be in complete denial here, in my opinion, because she doesn't own up to anything. She just says, "I would never do that." So, where does that leave us? Let's have a look at an image of an actual Dunkin' Donut and put it side by side with the suspected donut. And obviously, everything here is alleged, but you can see the confusion, can't you? The D's on both donuts look identical. John continues on and says, "I don't think you would. It was just a weird thing to see, and I felt it my responsibility as a business owner to ask. I appreciate you being willing to calm my nerves by sharing the picture of them." Michelle goes on to share this image of the sprinkles, and as we can see, they do not look anything like what is on the donut. John then writes this message to Michelle: "Thank you for the picture, but this doesn't quell my fears. Do you happen to have a picture of the custom order? I'm sorry for asking, but I'm not seeing orange or pink D's in that container. I'm very concerned." John and his wife Cindy order these specific letters from Amazon, which is where Michelle got hers from. And this is what they look like. And as we can see, they don't represent what is on the image of the donut at all. John and Cindy are still not satisfied, so they take matters into their own hands. They chop up the donut and do a test on it to see if it contains gluten. And not surprisingly, yes, it does contain gluten, and that would have dire consequences for any person that frequents their shop and expects to buy a gluten-free donut. So now I'm going to tell you what the symptoms are for someone who is a celiac, and if they ate this donut, this is what would happen to them. They would experience sickness and diarrhea, ataxia, neuralgia. They could have dermatitis herpetiformis, chronic fatigue, and gluten also damages the villi in the lining of the intestine. And if it is damaged repeatedly, that means it doesn't stand up anymore and it just lays flat. And if that happens, it can never ever recover. There is no cure for this disease, and the only choice is to have a gluten free diet. So, as you can imagine, it is very important for people to be able to trust where they buy their food from. And not only that, but a celiac is also 40 more times more likely to become a diabetic, suffer from cancer, and also from osteoporosis, because celiacs, their bodies do not process food and get the nutrients from it that other people do. And this is why John and Cindy are so upset, apart from the fact they also have people that go to their shop that have other allergies. I know one thing for certain: in Europe, this action would be totally illegal. In Europe, bars, restaurants, and food suppliers have to legally write the ingredients that are in the product, and they have to highlight any kind of allergens. They have to highlight whether it contains nuts or milk or gluten so that people know exactly what they are buying. A nut allergy can put you into anaphylactic shock if the allergy is serious enough, and that could kill someone. I don't know if that's the same in the US, but in Europe, it 100% is. And if found guilty, one of two things can happen. You can be fined first, and if you continue to break the law, then you'll be shut down. And in some cases, they don't even fine you, they just completely shut down your business. So you end up losing everything. And that is why it is so important for people to tell the truth. Some people think, wow, it's only food, but only food can have massive consequences for people who are allergic to some of the ingredients. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you've really enjoyed it and understand why I brought it to your attention, because it is a very serious matter. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.